Good day and welcome to Mission Control Houston, where the International Space Station Flight Control Team is watching over the systems aboard the orbiting outpost as it tracks across the Atlantic Ocean from northwest to southeast at an altitude of about 250 statute miles. On board the Expedition 36 crew, Commander Pavel Vinogradov and flight engineers Alexander Mazurkin, Chris Cassidy, Fyodor Yashikin, Luca Parmitano, and Karen Nyberg are all busy with another day of on-orbit operations. Following yesterday's shortened 1 hour 32-minute spacewalk, the team in the U.S. side of the space station, in particular spacewalkers Chris Cassidy of NASA and Luca Parmitano of the European Space Agency, have been conducting exhaustive troubleshooting activities, taking a look at the spacesuit that was worn by Luca Parmitano on that 1 hour and 32-minute spacewalk. Shortly after he completed his first task of the spacewalk, which is scheduled to be 6.5 hours long, he reported some water inside his helmet. Didn't think it was immediately going to be an issue, but after his fellow spacewalker Chris Cassidy was able to get a look inside his faceplate, he saw that there was more water than they believed there was, and worked with the flight control team, flight director Dave Korth, and Karina Eversley, the lead spacewalk officer, and made a quick determination that it was a potential hazard and that they needed to terminate the spacewalk, end it early, and bring the crew back inside to make sure that they were safe. All that went very well. The team here has trained for contingency re-entry into the Quest airlock module, which we're looking at here in some video from yesterday's spacewalk. And they were able to successfully get Parmitano and Cassidy quickly back into the airlock and then back into the International Space Station, where they were able to get Parmitano and Cassidy out of their suits and make sure that everybody was okay. Today, the work has been focusing on trying to troubleshoot what might have gone wrong. There still is no smoking gun or definite cause of what happened or why that water ended up inside Parmitano's spacesuit. There are a couple of different potential sources for that water. They each have about a 32-ounce drink bag that they are able to keep hydrated with. There also is water that courses through a set of tubing in their essentially long underwear that's used to cool them when they are outside the space station. And that water flows through different sets of plumbing, both inside the suit around the astronauts and in the backpack. The team here on the ground today has been doing a variety of different troubleshooting activities. Some of these we're seeing from recorded video downlinked here in the equipment lock portion of the Quest airlock module. Activating the equipment lock, beginning to recharge the suit with water, inspecting every nook and cranny for any signs of water leakage. So far there hasn't been any immediate noticeable leakage, other than some droplets in the neighborhood of one of the inlet loops from the canisters you use to scrub excess carbon dioxide from the spacesuits. But the spacewalk specialists here in Mission Control have seen a higher than usual usage of water from the feed tank that runs throughout the system and the suit's plumbing, and that could have been consistent with the readings that were seen yesterday when Parmitano's helmet began to fill up with water. Again, no real theory yet on exactly where this water came from or why, but they're doing a very deliberate step-by-step process of troubleshooting to try and identify what's going on. The spacesuits are in a way a combination of parts, and there's an additional spacesuit on board the space station should there be any contingency outside that would be necessary to have a spacewalk, something that would be very important to the space station. They could resize spacesuits and have these guys ready to go out, assuming that they're able to identify that this is not any kind of an issue that will affect all spacesuits, and that they're able to isolate it to this particular suit that Parmitano was wearing. Chris Cassidy didn't have any problems with his suit yesterday, so there's no evidence that there is a generic problem with the spacesuits. And so the team now is focusing on trying to figure out exactly what happened yesterday so that they can identify and design a repair procedure. Or shift over to alternate spacesuits, and no plan as of yet as to when they might try to do any of those tasks that were unable to be accomplished on yesterday's spacewalk. None of those tasks was particularly time critical, and so the team here is going to take a very deliberate and careful look at everything. Of course, research continuing aboard the International Space Station today. Russians working with a variety of different experiments. Karen Nyberg also doing some proficiency training for her role as the crew medical officer on board. She's also scheduled to be replacing a recycling system tank in the Environmental Control Life Support System and working with the Advanced Biological Research System. The spacewalkers also are stowing the tools that they had pulled out for yesterday's EVA so that they are out of the way and not any impediment to the troubleshooting activities. A lot of research has been going on throughout the week of this Expedition 36 activity. In addition to that, they've been performing a large number, almost a full work week's worth of research going on. Last week, about 17 hours worth of crew time was scheduled for research, even though we had the spacewalk and all those preparations going on. And also the crew on the Russian portion of the station has been busy packing up trash and no longer needed items inside the Progress 50 spacecraft, which is scheduled to undock from the International Space Station on July 25. The coverage of that on NASA TV will begin at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, and the undocking is scheduled for 3:43 p.m. Progress 50 is on the Pirs docking module for the space station, and when it departs, it will make room for the next cargo vehicle, Progress 52, which is scheduled to launch from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan on Saturday, July the 27th. Launch is scheduled for 3:45 p.m. Central Time, and it'll be going through an expedited 4-orbit, 6-hour travel to the International Space Station, and docking of the new Progress ship to that Pirs docking compartment is scheduled for 8:45 p.m. Central Time on July 27th. Correction, we'll have our coverage start at 8:45 p.m. and then docking will be occurring at 9:26 p.m. Central Time. Again, all that will be covered on NASA television as the month of July continues.